China, India, and the US from an investment perspective. Since President Nixon opened up China back in the beginning of the 1970s, China has seen a meteoric growth to where they were before the pandemic put a damper on their rise. Admittedly, they came from a very low point, and human nature is easily fooled to believe something can go on forever. That is why China and the world started talking about when China was going to be the biggest economy. The reality is they're not even close and will probably never be. Let me expand on those points. Their GDP is about 30% less than the US's. In GDP per capita, China is more than 5 times smaller than the US. China is probably experiencing negative or close to negative growth this year. They have a long way to go and will probably never catch up for several reasons. When President Xi made himself president for life, he broke a tradition in China where a president can only serve 2 5-year terms. In any system, that is a bad move because it hampers dynamism and progress. Xi also decided that the Communist Party needed to control all innovation in China, especially because some of their business icons became too powerful. Think of Ma, that not only lost his company, but today is an obscure university lecturer in Japan. When a government decides that they need to control business and especially innovation, it will always end in disaster. In May of 2023, I was in Singapore, and they have seen a massive influx of capital and investment advisors from China in the previous 18 months. When the money leaves a country, it's a sign that the elites are securing their legacy outside of their home country. Western manufacturing is leaving China. Cheaper products can now be produced in other Southeast Asian, and more technologically advanced manufacturing is being onshored to the US or Europe, or nearshored to neighboring countries or regions. Point to note here is that Europe and America are onshoring their chip manufacturing. So when China decides to annex Taiwan, it will be a hollow victory if they succeed. By the way, watch out for the year 2027 when the PLA, People's Liberation Army, as the Chinese army is named, turns 100. Xi has already stipulated that he will be the one reuniting China. To heck with the Formosans, the indigenous people of Taiwan. The above points, combined with the aging population, have created quite a bit of unemployment, especially among the under 25s, where it is at least 21%. In good totalitarian style, the Communist Party stopped reporting the numbers soon after. Xi's response: eat bitterness. To sum it all up, China is over the hill and is in a slow and steady decline. As long as the Communist Party is in power, this will continue. The young people want to be hip and not look like and live like peasants from the 1950s. Now let's go to a more promising country, India. India started out at a much slower pace once they got their independence. Gandhi was wary of Western capitalism, but understood that innovation and technology was the way of the future. So they have been slower at developing until recently. They always like to play both sides, the West against the East. But Putin and Xi have kind of ruined it for themselves with either violent border disputes or just being too dictatorial, and India has finally chosen to open up to the West a lot more because they will be the recipient of a lot of Western industries leaving China and needing some of our military equipment to fend off the two biggest imperialistic countries today. What India has over China is that they are a democracy and are not trying to control or dictate innovation or entrepreneurs. The challenge they face is that they need to bring a lot of people out of poverty by mainly improving infrastructure. But overall, India is an Asian tiger that should be a lightning rod for many other emerging countries. Now let's turn to the US. the industrial powerhouse of the 20th and 21st century. I do not believe we are going to lose that crown anytime soon. As dysfunctional as we might be politically, when it comes to business and opportunities for an individual to live the American dream, we are by far the leading country in the world. The most talented and ambitious people want to come here. I just wish that we had a way more generous legal immigration policy so we could capture even more of the best brains in the world. Since we also have the best higher education system in the world, we really need to find a way to not limit access to our colleges and universities, but expand it. If a young person is smart enough to attend college, they should be allowed to. Our economy is fertile ground for creating the next unicorns, and our companies are in general led by the best people in the world. Combine all that with that it's okay to be different, and you have a recipe for success. Given what I have covered here, there are a lot of investment opportunities, but you have to find the best run, most innovative, global or scalable companies. If you would like to discuss this with one of our certified financial planners, please reach out to us at frontierwealthstrategies.com. We look forward to meeting you. Cheers.